A lot of people consider Donald Trump to be a hero. I am not one of them. Because had he done what needed to be done after the 2020 election, a lot of people, especially children, would still be alive. As far as I'm concerned, optics mean very little when you're ignoring your oath to the Constitution of the United States of America and its citizens. You don't walk off the battlefield, ignore your oath as people die, and expect respect, expect loyalty. That's my issue with Donald Trump.
Into these things. I mean, if I have to get arrested to go into these, we're going to do it.
Oh, I'm ready for that. I'm ready for that. Whenever you want to, I know where they're all at. And in the country alone, last time I checked, there's 249 child concentration camps. 249. And they're spread out across all.
Again, no one will say where they go in Congress.
And they don't want to visit these places.
And literally, we're there, folks. It's 10 vans lined up with a few Hispanic women handing children off. And I don't say this because white people, it's what I saw, to weird-looking white dudes. And you're watching babies handed off to weird-looking white dudes. It's sick. It's sick.
And the airports are in on it because there's 200 escorts who show up one day, and then the other day there's another 200 escorts. Imagine the money they're making off these plane tickets, off these small airports in McAllen, Texas, Brownsville, Texas, Harlingen, Texas.
All taxpayer paid for.
All taxpayer.
So that's why everybody goes along to get a little bit of money. Look, if the devil said, I'll give you $1 billion for your eyes, every person say, no, I want my eyes. It's your soul, people.
And there's been people who ask me, why doesn't law enforcement get involved? These kids are in federal custody. Local law enforcement have
no power.
No power.
Well, that's the thing about Abbott with this. We'll arrest him. He turns illegals over, they turn them loose again.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And there's been a couple of states where I myself have received pushback, and some of my coworkers, for example, Tennessee, in Nashville, Tennessee, the police there do push back on escorts dropping off children. They approach you. They say hand over those papers. They're really aggressive, so they're doing their job.
No, that's good because I'll tell Abbott what to do. He knows this. The so-called Texas Rangers, on average, they're pathetic political whores. I'm just saying, we mystify them. They're a joke. I've seen their actions. But if they want to be men and not be part of this, you can target the charities that are running it, catch them giving kids to convicted pedophiles, and blow up each one of the charities. They'll all turn and run. Blow them up with indictments, you bastards. You make me, I'm ashamed to be a Texan with your goddamn cowboy hats and strutting around. I'm a Texas Ranger. You are pieces of filth enabling this, and you can stop it. Not more DPS writing tickets. We need the damn trafficking centers busted. If I had law enforcement power, I could bust them in days. It's like shooting fish in a barrel. It's so easy. Run their license plates. Find who they are. Kids are turned over to pedophiles. Bust them. Bring down the charities. But you don't do it because you're cowards and you're part of it. So fuck the Texas Rangers. Fuck you.
Hoorah.
And there's been people...
And anybody else turning, looking the other way.
Our hands are tied because these sites are federal. Well, here's the thing.
Oh, they're all part of it. They're on the payroll. The Texas Rangers are part of it. They run it.
The Walmart shelters are not federal. They're state. They're not federal. They need state permits to run. The Walmart shelters need state permits. So someone in Austin, Texas, asked to be given permits to the Walmart.
By the way, before Obama left, there was all this secret intel. They're setting up the Walmarts as camps for people. No, they were getting ready for this. Okay. Sorry, keep going.
No, and... No, I understand your frustration, Alex. That was me, and it's so bad to the point where I've sort of have become numb to it because I saw it so often. But when I would see it firsthand, the first times I was the way you were, and it still happens to me randomly where I'll be at my home and my family is like, why are you getting so angry? Why are you getting this?
Because you got a soul.
Yeah, these children don't have.
You got a soul,
voices too,
Carlos. That's why.
And I'm trying my hardest to get the word out there, but it's difficult when people on the stage.
I'm gonna leave for 5 minutes. I'm so mad. Just you talk to the camera. I'll be right back. Okay?
Right.
I'm not gonna blow up. Keep going.
And there's been people in Austin, Texas, who tell me, well, off the record, Carlos, but we don't really mess with these organizations because they also help us out with the foster care system. So
That should tell you a lot.
Me we're not gonna push back on them because we need the help with foster care kids. So your mind starts racing. Well, if they got their hands dipped into the unaccompanied migrant children, and they're also helping out with the foster care system, there's kids in the foster care system who are being escorted around here as well, and it's so evil to where it's branched out to all the kids in the United States. You know, you have the kids in Hawaii who went missing, and it makes you wonder: did you burn this down because you wanted more kids in the system? You know, what are you doing?
Than that.
What are you doing? You know, just causing all these all these disasters, and then you hear reports that 20,000 kids are missing from the island of Maui. And it wouldn't surprise me if they're in one of these Walmarts or they're in a shelter in the middle of the desert in Pecos, Texas. And it's funny because when you go to Pecos, Texas, the only thing there to do is a Walmart. And you either work at Walmart or you work at the migrant facility that's being run by an NGO there called Endeavors. And these people in these small towns go to these shelters because to be a janitor, you get paid $300 a day, and sometimes you as a janitor at these facilities.
Yeah, I know I look like shit, but that's what we're all gonna look like when and if the bottom falls out. People talk about receiving downloads and having spiritual awakenings throughout this process. I got my download. You know what it was? I didn't like it at all. Based on the things you can do and the way that you're already living, it's going to be my job to try and get people through who miss the rapture to the end of this show. Quite frankly, based on the apathy that the general public has shown about this subject in particular, I don't think there's going to be too many people worth saving. Everybody's got better things to do than worrying about what's happening to the children. Everybody's got better things to do than worrying about the citizens of this country who might be injured because our borders are wide open. How is that not an issue? How isn't that one of the biggest issues of today? If we were a moral and just country, it definitely would be. But it isn't, and that should tell a lot of people everything they need to know. And I'd add this. You think you ain't got a pot to piss in? You should see my little pot that I don't have to piss in. This behind me is to block off half of the room, so at the very least, I can have some kind of heat in the wintertime. And when that day comes, and don't shit yourself, they're pushing us toward it, you're going to have to live that way too. And most of you have absolutely no idea how to do it. Oh yeah, I'll do the job, and people will hate me for it, because this will be my attitude. I don't care if you love me. I don't care if you like me. It's my job to make sure we can make it through to the next day so we can wake up and do it all over again. And I sure in the hell am not looking for anyone's approval. And if you think you have a better way, there's the damn gate.